Here we go. Okay, let us come onto our mats in easy pose, and let's start there. So just come onto your mat, nice easy pose. And as you sit in easy pose, begin by feeling how open your hips are just seated in this position, even if your knees are higher, right? When you have your thighs splayed out like this, the hips are naturally going to open up for you. And close your eyes. Notice the sensations of your breath. Notice the sensations of sitting, the pressure at your sitting bones. You can feel the openness in the inner thighs in this position. Slide your palms back to the insides of your knees or your inner thighs. Draw your navel back, lift from your spine, and then let's circle the spine. So as you're doing this, just imagine that your spine is this long wooden spoon, right? The long handle of the wooden spoon. And you're just stirring that spoon at the center of your pelvic floor. So just feel that. And also notice how the abdominals and the lower back, in other words, the core muscles, are the engine for this. They're making it happen. Keep going. I'm just going to check. I know I heard it say record. Yes, just want to double check that it's recording, and it is. All right. Next time you come to center, stay there, and then begin to turn in the other direction. Now, the more you can engage your core muscles, so it's like the girdle of your body, the lower muscular part of your torso, the more you can engage your abdominals and your lower back muscles, the bigger you can make the turn of your spoon. And then stop at center. Soften your shoulders. Left fingertips to the right side of you. Right fingertips to the right side of your leg, of your right leg. Bend your elbows a little bit, draw your navel back, press into those fingertips, and turn your belly button towards your right inner thigh. So be careful with twisting, right? You never want to over twist. Now, those of you who want more, take the left palm to the top of your right thigh. Take your right fingertips back behind you. Press into that palm. Keep that left elbow close to you and get more of a twist here. Again, listen to your body. Now, add a ribcage breath here, right here while you're twisted. Feel the ribcage move, even in the back. And release. Right fingertips come to the left side of you, left fingertips next to your left leg. Bend the elbows a bit, press into those fingertips, and turn the belly button towards your left inner thigh. We're really twisting low in the back here. Nice ringing out of the spine. Now listen, if you want more, right hand comes to the top of that left thigh. Left fingertips come behind you. Keep that right elbow pulled in toward you. Press into the right palm and twist more to the left. So just ring that rag out a little bit more. Now add your ribcage breath. Not easy to do when you're this twisted, but it's possible. Yeah, really make the rib cage move. Open it up all directions. And untwist back to center here. Take your feet in front of you, about hip distance apart. Knees are bent. Hands are behind you. Take your knees toward the right. Now take the knees toward the left. Okay, getting into hips here. Now to the right and to the left again. Okay, keep them there. Sit up straight and then just take your foot, your left foot, and just bring it forward just a little bit because you want to be sitting so that you're facing that left leg. The left shin is in front of you, pretty much going straight across, right knee or right shin to the side. Okay, now slowly make yourself come forward into or toward that right inner thigh. You're going to feel this in the right thigh, especially the lateral thigh and, excuse me, hip and into the thigh as well, actually. Walk your fingertips forward some more. Come on down over that leg. Breathe into the left hip here. Make it a ribcage breath. Make it deep. Bring your body up by walking your hands back toward you. Okay, now flex your right heel and lift it up off the ground. Now lower it. Now lift. You're not going to get much. And lower. Working the right outer glutes and into that right hip this time. Up, down, up, down. One more, hold it here, draw the navel back, lift the heel a little higher and pulse it. Not easy. It's really tiny movements, but they're deep. And then let it come down. All right, move it over to the right. Take your knees to the right. And then just kind of set up so that you get that right shin bone in front of you and more or less parallel to the edge of your mat. It doesn't have to be totally parallel. All right. Twist a little to this right thigh and slowly walk your hands forward and bring yourself slowly down over the right inner thigh this time, pressing the right knee toward the ground. Dropping down. So different than pigeon, right? Slightly different feeling here, but definitely a hip opener. Now add the rib cage breath. Make sure you open the back of the rib cage as well as the sides and the front. Now walk your hands a little farther away. Come down a little deeper. Put in that rib cage breath. And try to stay with that sensation in the right hip area. Okay, so try not to float away into your thoughts. Try to really feel what's happening here. Just notice it. Be the observer. And walk your hands toward you to come up. Flex the left heel, lift it off the ground, and lower it. So you're turned, your body is still turned to the right, toward the right leg, and you're just lifting and lowering that back lower leg off the ground. Slow and controlled. Draw the navel back. So you're going to feel it deeply in through the sides of the glutes and the sides of the thigh. And it's also working the hip. Lift it higher. Pulse it. Little pulses. Again, these are deep and strong. Not much of a movement, but you feel it. and bring it down. All right, bring both knees up. Take the feet hip distance apart, hands behind you, and let's go back and forth again. Feel the difference. Much more open in the hips after all that. And back to center. Open into a really wide V position. Flex the heels, press them to the ground, spread your toes up toward the ceiling and stretch them away from one another. All right, fingertips in front of you. Now, in this position, you can really feel the sitting bones. Close your eyes and feel that little bit of pressure, sitting bones pressing in to your mat. Draw your navel back. Walk your fingertips toward your left leg. Bring the left hand actually over that leg. Press into the right heel. You're going to feel the right inner thigh open here. Press, press, press. Press the back of that right leg into the ground. And then just slowly bend the elbows. Hinge down over that left thigh. Keep the left heel flexed, left toes spread open. Okay, here we go. Really getting into the hamstrings here, left side. Come on up. So remember, the hip is surrounded by all these muscles, right, and soft tissue, but you've got the glutes and you've got the thighs as part of that. So when you strengthen those, you're supporting the hip joint. We're to the other side now. Bending the elbows back, hinging, hinge, hinge, hinge. Press that left heel into the ground. Toes are up. Right heel into the ground, toes toward the ceiling. There it is. Right hamstring, feel that. Now add breath. And come back up. Hands to the center. Flex those heels, press both heels into the ground. Feel the sitting bones, feel the heels, press them both into the ground. Walk your hands forward. All right, here we go. Inner thighs. Drop the elbows to the ground. Drop the forehead toward the ground. Don't worry about keeping the back straight here. Now, this is a perfect place to feel a ribcage breath, especially opening the back ribcage, which tends to be the sticky part that doesn't move as much. Go for it. The entire thing, 360 breath. So not only do you get the rib cage opening back there and those little muscles between the ribs, the intercostal muscles, you also get those large muscles of the upper back to stretch. Simply by using a breath. Straighten the arms. Walk your hands back toward you. Bring your legs together. Bend the right knee to the side. Left leg is straight out. We're going to do this right here. Okay, I know normally I do that after pigeon pose. Okay, opening the lower back, also very related to the hip. Press the right knee toward the ground. Flex the left heel. Spread open those toes and come on down over the left leg. Slowly keep pressing that right knee toward the ground. Keep it open in the right lower back by doing that. Yeah, access that lower back deeply here. Now fold into this. Stop trying. Just breathe and hang out here. Add the ribcage breath. Straighten the arms to lift your body. Straighten the body back up. And right leg straight, left knee bent. Okay, now you guys all know you want that femur, that thigh bone coming straight out from the center of your hip joint. Press the left knee toward the ground. Okay, just keep, so you're always activating those inner thigh muscles to press that left knee closer to the ground as you come over your right leg. Okay, once you get into your maximum range of motion here on this fold, drop your head, release any trying, and simply breathe into the pose. Rib cage breath. And slowly bring yourself back up. All right, right knee bent, left knee bent, soles of the feet together. Grab the tops of your feet, press your thumbs into the undersides of your feet at the arches. Lean back a little bit, lift your chest, back is nice and straight. Take the heels off the ground. Hold it here. Come back down. Bend the elbows to the sides. Curl the spine down. Not a straight spine, curl it down. And then forehead drops toward your toes. Put a rib cage breath in here. And come back up again. This time, lock your index fingers around your big toe, yogi toe lock, like little hooks. You're locking them around, and then clasp down on those index fingers with your thumb. Lean back again, lift the chest, back stays long, lift the heels off the ground. Now open one leg to the side, close it. Another leg, close it. Another side, the other side again, close it. Okay, using your core here big time. Now, if you can, open both. Balance. So you might want to watch a drishti, look for a drishti in the ground, on the ground or out the window, somewhere where you can just put a little focus here. Bend the knees, come down, drop down again, nice curved spine. And coming back up. All right. Swing your legs around and come into table pose. All right. Fingers are spread apart. You're pressing deeply down into the hands. All right, that middle finger is making a T with the top of your mat. Lift your belly just a little bit. Press down in the palms a little bit more. Okay, now listen up. Just lift your tail, just your tail. So you're dropping the lower back and you're dropping the belly and you're lifting your tail toward the ceiling. Now just that. Feel the stretch in the abdominals with this. Now, press more deeply into the hands. Now, feel as if you're sliding your palms back toward your knees as you lift the heart and send it forward between your biceps. So you really are getting a strong stretch from the lower back all the way up to the upper back and into the neck, especially between the shoulder blades. Now, if you want more, again, press the palms back toward the knees, press the heart forward right in front of you. Release that internal pressing. Slowly round the tail toward the ground. Feel the pelvis scoop up. Now round the rest of your back toward the ceiling, dropping your head toward your mat. Cat pose. Back into a cow pose. First the tail, then the entire back. Comes forward, lift slightly, draw the palms back, heart forward. Okay, let's just start at the tail first. Round the tail toward the ground. Feel the belly button pull up. Feel the pelvis drop and scoop forward. Now, press into the hands and work that curve at your lower back up the spine. One vertebrae at a time. We're doing a segmental cat pose. One vertebrae at a time. Feel it. Take your chin to your chest to release the neck. And then release out. Bring it back into table pose. All right, so I'm going to do one we haven't done for a while, and that's a figure eight. All right, here's the best way I can cue it. So you start off in table pose. Pretend that you have a beam of light from the center of your chest, and it goes all the way down to your mat. So you see that beam of light. Okay, take that beam of light toward your right knee. So you're taking your hips to the right. Yeah, you're making a nice diagonal line toward the right knee. Now, hips don't touch the ground. Take the beam of light to the left knee as you switch the hips over to the left side. Now the beam of light comes to the right wrist and hand, left wrist and hand, back down to the right knee. See the figure eight you're drawing with your beam? Then the left knee. So listen, work with this on your own. Really feel it. Go as deep as you want to. It's slow and controlled, but you can get a really nice big hip opening back there, especially when you go from side to side with the hips. Okay, once you get up to a wrist, switch direction and go down to the other knee. Diagonal. Across to the other side. Up to the other wrist. Across to the other wrist, diagonal, bring it down. We're just drawing the eight in the other direction. Okay, one more. And come back to table pose. Left knee comes in just a bit. Right knee lifts to the side. Send the leg straight back and to the side. And straight back. Now this time when you bend the knee to the side, try to get it to the shoulder and back. Deep work in the glutes and in the hip. Nice and controlled. This time when it comes to the shoulder, keep it up there and pulse it. Belly stays lifted, press down into both palms. And let that leg down next to the left. Now bring the left leg straight back, flex the heel. Bend the left knee, bring it to the side of you and back. Slow controlled movements to the side, heel is flexed and back. Keep pressing into the palms, don't collapse. This time, take it all the way toward the shoulder so you get more squeeze in the side of that left glute. To the shoulder, feel the squeeze there, feel the squeeze and back. To the shoulder and pulse it there. Pulse, little pulses, not much. Just feel the squeeze. And send that knee down. Bring it back into table pose. Curl your toes. Press your hips back. Let's open those glutes and hips a little bit. Press down toward the toes with your hips. Walk your hands back toward your legs and really press your hips down toward your feet. So really opening those joints of the toes here. All right, now coming into a squat pose, your own personal squat. And Namaste Mudra in the middle. Now, in the squat pose, make sure that most of your weight is in the heels and you're coming back toward the hips, not forward toward the knees, back toward the hips. Nice. Open both arms in front of you. Spread those legs apart some more. Sit back some more. You're only going to fall 2 inches if you fall, if you drop back there. Your butt's like what? Not that far from the ground. All right. Take your hands together. Press your feet into the mat and feel the bottoms of your feet make contact with the mat. Lift from the pelvic floor that's between the anus and the pubic bone internally. Lift from there. Come on up. Come on down again. Release the pelvic floor. Engage the pelvic floor. Lift. Release the pelvic floor. Engage the pelvic floor. All right. Both feet come forward. Bring them a little closer. Arms come in front of you. Sit in a little squat. All right. Now, just pulse here. Press the butt back like you want to sit in a little chair, but then you don't quite make it and you lift. All right. Now swing the arms back, lift them up, and bring them down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go over a fence. Actually, let's put the fence to the right of you. Make believe that there's a fence to the right of you. Okay, so first you're going to take the right leg over that fence and squat, then the left leg over and squat. Now I'm using my arms because it gives some momentum. You don't have to use the arms. So get over and again. Get over and again. And again, arms forward and little squats right here. Just little tiny squats. And come on up. Okay, now what you need to do is either get a wall. Oh, can you see me from here? Yeah, you can still, I'm holding on to a shelf. You need something to hold on to. All right, so we're going to do a rotation of both hips, complete rotation. Okay, CARS, controlled articular rotation of the hip capsule. All right, so hands to the hip. Now, with your hand to your hip here, for the leg that's away from the wall or away from what you're holding on to, this hand plays a really important function, and that is keeping the lower back in a nice neutral position like this. Don't sway the lower back while you're doing this. Keep it nice and straight, okay? And that hand is going to remind you. So pick up the knee that's away from the wall. Lift the foot inward. We've just externally rotated the femur in that joint. You can probably feel that. Open this door all the way to the side. Open it all the way. Keep it there. Now just lift the heel behind you. See, we're internally rotating. Now send the leg back and down. Push back. Now make a big circle with the knee and bring it forward and bring that foot in front of you like it was before. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something else to do for the next one. Feel as if you have something between your knee and your thigh and you're holding onto it in the back of your leg. So you don't get that leg to move too much in that bend. You keep the bend pretty much the same. Push back, lift the knee to the side, keep the heel lifted, and bring it in front of you again. One more. These are intense. Lift, open the door, keep the knee lifted, just lift. And that's where you don't want to move the lower back. Now send the leg back and down. Bring it to the side with the knee, to the front, and heel comes in front of you. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to turn away from you for this one, but that might be good. Okay, other side. So switch sides. Hand to that hip, reminding that lower back to stay put. Right knee up. Heel comes in toward your, inward toward the wall. Bring the leg open. Lift the heel. Remember, you want to keep the knee and the lower part of the calf pretty close together. Don't let it go too far out. Now press it back and bring the knees together and down. Push back. Lift the knee to the side as high as you can get it. And then in front of you. And then that foot comes to the other side. Open the door. Keep the knee where it is. Just lift the heel. Press it back. This is the toughest part right there, right there. Now bring it down. Now kick back. Lift the knee. Feel that that external rotation in the hip joint, and then bring in front of you and down. Okay, those are a little tricky. Hopefully you felt it. All right. What should we do? Let's go down to table pose. Okay, let's go down to table pose. And then let's curl the toes and bring yourself up to down dog. All right, so press back with the chest. Push forward with the hands and get the weight out of the wrists. Fingers are nice and spread apart. You really feel the mat beneath you there. Drop both heels and feel the calves open up. Lift the belly, lift the hips, and press them back. Nice. Glide forward with your torso. Stop when the shoulders are over the wrists. Press deeply into the hands. Press back. Lift the hips. Come into down dog again. Flow forward again. Press back. Lift the hips. Left foot comes just off center. Right leg lifts up. Flex that right heel. Open the hip to the right. Lift that right ankle a little closer. Now listen, feel how you're loading into the left shoulder here. Press more firmly into the left hand. Push the mat away from you. That's going to keep your shoulder nice and open and strong. Pulse that right ankle toward the ceiling. Bend that knee. Let the foot fall back. And then circle the foot. Get the ankle. Nice full circle. Get inside the ankle joint, feel it. Reverse. Straighten that leg. Hips face the ground again. Look forward. Right foot comes forward between your hands. Shimmy the left toes back. Get your feet on different tracks. Check it out. Make sure that left foot is on a different track than your right. Squeeze the left butt cheek, the left thigh muscles around the thigh bone, and then press that left heel back to get at the calf muscles. Take the right arm over your right leg, take it next to the left arm, hands come together, move them to the side of your mat. Now check your right knee, make sure it's still over the ankle. Now feel that back leg, make sure it's still straight and long and strong. Look forward, lift your chest slightly. And reverse. Drop the left knee into the ground. top of the left foot into the ground, come up to the fingertips to lift the torso, and then press that left hip forward, deep, deep in the left hip flexor here. Now release that. Bring the left hip back, straighten the right leg, take the right hand to the other side of that leg now. So now you've got your hands on either side. They're not next to each other. And the toes, the right toes, up toward the ceiling. Press the back of that right leg toward the ground. Now bend the elbows. There's your little hinge, and you can load a little weight over that right leg if you do this. Don't have to. Now really feel that. The hamstring is going all the way into that right hip. Walk your hands forward, step that right foot into the ground, curl the left toes, lift the knee. Straighten the right leg. We're coming into pyramid pose. Left heel is dropping. Walk your hands back, fingertips facing forward. Bend the elbows back, drop down. There it is again, little different sensation, but again, deep into the right hip and into the right back thigh. Bend the right knee as you walk your hands forward. Send that left foot out about 45 degrees. Again, make sure you're on different tracks. And then come up, warrior one. All right. Bring the arms out to the sides. Turn the palms back. Bring the pinkies forward and hold this. Keep the shoulders low. Keep that nice rotation. So here we're rotating in the shoulders. Do you feel it? Now slowly bring the pinkies up toward the ceiling and back. Keep the arms long and straight. Now down toward the ground. And now forward again with the palms up. Now pinkies down and back. So we're keeping the arms long as we rotate them in the shoulder joints. Pinkies forward. Press the arms back. Lift the heart to the ceiling. And now you've got a nice back bend going here in your warrior one. Arms come up, straighten the torso. Reach forward here. Right arm comes down inside that leg. Press leg and arm into one another. Reach out with the left fingertips some more. Press into the outer edge of your left foot. Now lift the left arm to the ceiling. Opens your torso to the left. Bend that elbow. Bring it back. Binders. Here's where you put in your bind. Deep binders. Both arms. Release the bind. Cartwheel up to warrior two. Soften the shoulders, spread the fingertips to the sides, really open up the arms, the chest. Turn the pinky on the left hand, your back hand forward. Yeah, nice twist there. Got it, got it. Twist it some more. Release the twist. Right palm comes up. Lift that arm up and over. And here we go. Right rib cage. Add your rib cage breath here. Not easy with the rib cage in this position, but try it. Opening up the space between those rib bones. And back to warrior two. Straighten the right leg without locking the knee. Turn the hips to the left. Okay, now listen, just listen to this. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Just feel as if you want to squeeze those inner thighs toward one another. That way, you really stabilize the pyramid you just made with the bottom of your body. It's called the pyramid pose. Now, keep squeezing as much as you can as you bring that right arm off to the side. Drop the right hand until it hits the shin. Lift the left. Turn the left palm so it's facing behind you. Press that arm back as far back as you can get it. And for binders, you can bend the elbow, place the top of that hand into your back body. Release. Arm comes back up. Look down at the right foot, bend the knee, come into warrior two. Turn your right foot so it's facing the edge of your mat. Get yourself into a nice wide stance here. Toes facing forward or toed in, definitely not out. Hinge from the hips. Slowly, slowly, until you come all the way down. Inversion. So you can do whatever you want with your arms and your hands. You can grab the backs of your ankles. You can even intertwine your fingers and straighten the arms up toward the ceiling. Place your palms into your shins. Straighten your torso. Yeah, really straightening that spine. Almost like the feel of the cow pose, where you're just going from the lower back all the way up to the neck. Hands into the ground underneath your face. Walk your hands forward. We're doing a wide dog here. Lift your belly, drop your head between your arms. Press your heart back through the center of your triangle. And really feel the extension in the back. And you can make your elbows soft here. Glide your torso forward. Walk your hands back toward your mat. Look at that right foot. Turn it so it's facing the front of your mat. Lift the back heel, turn those left toes forward. Walk your hands toward the front of the mat. Now we're going to go into a nice pigeon pose. So walk your foot to the side of your mat, knee to the other side. If you're a back on your back pigeon pose, bend your knees over your hips, right ankle to the top of the left thigh, grab underneath the left thigh and bring it toward you. If you're on the ground, level those hips. Looking toward the ground, I should say. Level the hips. And then once they're level, come on down and you can load a little bit more weight into this right hip here. And then add the ribcage breath. Just really, really feel the pose. Slowly release from this. Curl those left toes under, lift the left knee. Press into the hands to lift your torso, send the right foot back. Come into down dog again. So whatever you want to do, maybe you want to walk your dog, bend one knee and the other. Maybe you want to shift your hips from side to side. Whatever feels good. Okay, right foot comes in just off center line. Root it into your mat and lift the left leg. Press that right heel back, press the chest back toward your right leg. Turn your hips to the left. Lift the leg a little higher and pulse that ankle toward the ceiling. Feeling the lateral, the side glutes light up again with this move. Lift it, bend the knee, let the foot fall back and feel the new load in the right arm and right shoulder. So press that hand more firmly, push the mat away. Okay, that way you're opening up the shoulder here. Okay, now circle the foot to release the ankle.
Nice and slow, controlled. Reverse. Straighten that leg. Hips facing the mat again. Look forward. Left foot comes forward between your hands. Look back at your right foot. Make sure it's on a different track. And make sure that that right leg is nice and long. So you may have to shimmy those toes back. Get it as long as you can. Squeeze the right butt cheek, squeeze the right thigh muscles, and then press the right heel back. All of that. Take your left arm over the leg, walk your right and your left hands over. Look at that left knee, make sure it's over the ankle. Okay, look forward slightly. Release. Drop the right knee gently to the mat, top of the foot to the mat. Walk your hands back toward you. Come to the fingertips to lift your torso, and then press that right hip forward. Right hip flexor. Begin to press into the left foot. Straighten the left knee. Right hip comes back toward the right heel. Left toes up toward the ground. Walk your hands back. Let's take that left arm over the leg. And you might even want to bring that leg more towards center. All right, now bend the elbows and drop some weight into this. Really nice release there. Step it forward, drop the left foot into the mat, curl the right toes, lift the right knee. Now we're going to do a pyramid. So straighten that left knee again, drop that right heel again, walk your hands back, bend the elbows, and drop into that leg. So you'll notice that when you do that body drop into the leg, you're just adding more load, more weight. It's kind of like adding weights in a way. And you really are adding more load. All right. So it's good for your bones. Bend the left knee until it's over the ankle. Walk your hands forward. Right foot comes out about 45 degrees and bring it up. Warrior one. All right. Hands in Namaste Mudra overhead. Lock the thumbs. Straighten the arms as much as you can and try to press the biceps into the ears. Lift. Lift those fingertips. Sit more deeply. Come forward with the arms and the torso. Reach, reach, reach. Drop the left arm inside that leg. Press them into one another. Reach out with the right fingertips. Unlock the right waist. Once you have that, lift the arm to the ceiling. And then bend the elbow back. So see, even if you're not a binder, you get that nice big shoulder opener by doing this cactus arm twist. But if you're a binder and you like to bind, you can add the bind in right here. Release the bind if you're a binder. Come on up to warrior two. Soften those shoulders, reach out. Straighten the left knee without locking it. Okay? Turn the hips to the right. Getting ready for triangle, everyone. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Squeeze them together. Just think it. Bring the inner thighs toward one another. Now that your base is strong, you can easily reach out toward the left fingertips with the torso. And then float that left arm down. Hand takes the shin. Right arm comes up. Bring that arm back. I don't think I did that last time, so forget it. Bring it up again. Look down at the left foot. Bend the left knee. Come up to warrior two again. Warrior one. Sweep forward and down, and pigeon pose for the left hip. So walk the foot over, drop the knee, right leg goes straight back, not on an angle, straight back. And then you level the hips before you come down. If you're on your back, you've got the left ankle at the top of the right thigh. You're going to grab under the right thigh, bend the elbows, bring it toward you. That's going to open the left hip just like this does. Now add the rib cage breath and just be the observer. You're not controlling any of this. Just observe the sensations that this pose gives you. Just receive those sensations, the movement of your breath, your rib cage, the feelings around that left hip, wherever you feel it. And slowly release, bring yourself up. Curl the right toes, lift the right knee, press down into those toes, squeeze the right butt cheek, press into the hands, lift the torso, send the other leg back, walk it to the center of your mat. All right, bend your knees, let your belly drop into your thighs, let your head fall in front of your knees, grab the backs of your ankles. All right, take a look down at your feet. Okay, make your feet in such a position where the outer edges of your feet are parallel. Okay, outer edges parallel, and you're pressing into the middle of your heels, not into one side or the other. Now, take a hold of the big toes and just bring them in toward one another. Really separate the space, open the space, I should say, between big toe and second toe. Now, press your fingers, your thumbs, down into the big toenails. Now, as you straighten your legs, press into the outer sides of your feet, trying to keep some arch. Some people are more flat-footed than the others. It doesn't matter. Okay, let go of your toes. Try to keep your feet like this and come down upside down. Forward fold. Now bend the knees. We're going to waterfall. Swish the arms back, lift up. Inhale. Okay, exhale, drop down. Inhale up and down. Remember, this is a detox breath, so you really want to open your mouth and squeeze the lungs to let everything out. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Stay down. All right, nice. You can separate your feet a little bit if you want, if it feels good. Try to keep the feet in that same position where the outer edges are lined up. All right, bend your elbows. Clasp them with the opposite fingers gently. Release your arms and slowly come up. All right, lift your shoulders to your ears. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Bring your shoulder blades down with the shoulders. Bring them forward. Lift. Feel how your wing bones are moving with this. Reverse, squeeze, forward, down, keep them down, back, up, and release. Okay, bring the feet a little closer. Right arm up. Bend the elbow, take the side of the head. Drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. Let's get some neck in here. We haven't done any neck in the practice yet. So just let everything soften. Don't fight it. Don't judge it. Okay, it's very normal to have tension in the neck. Release. That arm comes down, left arm comes up, reach. Bend the elbow, take the side of the head. Drop the other ear down to the side. Soften the other shoulder. And just let things soften on their own. So you're providing the space for all these soft tissues to open up, right? Between the ear and that shoulder, you've created all this extra space. That's all you need to do. And bring it back to center. All right, arms come up, inhale. Namaste Mudra overhead. Exhale, down to your heart. Soften the shoulders, the elbows, and then the forehead to the fingertips. All right, and let's bring it down. Bring it down onto your bellies. Okay, now, yeah, we'll do crocodile first. Let's do crocodile. Let's just kind of let it all go here. Feet toed in, everything relaxed. Rib cage breath here. All right, pick your body up and come into Sphinx pose. So elbows are under your shoulders. Arms are in an 11 position. All right. Now, Sphinx pose is actually a really good lower back strengthener. Let's do that first. Press down into the palms and press your chest forward. Press your chest forward. Don't draw the head back. So yes, you're getting it in that part of the spine between the shoulder blades, thoracic spine, but you're also getting a nice low back toning. Release. Take the left arm in a little bit, bend the right knee, take the top of the right foot with the right hand and try to press that heel toward your buttocks. Now we're opening the quads, the fronts of the thighs. Okay, release. Right arm takes the place of the left. Left hand gets a hold of that foot or ankle and a nice big bend in the leg to stretch out the front of that thigh, the quadriceps. And release. All right, back into your Sphinx pose. Now press down into the hands and into the elbows and arms. Press your chest forward. See how this can be pretty intense? All isometric. And release. All right, bring your hands chest level. Bring your torso down. Looking straight down at the mat, we're getting ready for cobra pose here. Feet are toed in, legs are hip distance or closer. Actually, let's do this. Stay in this position. Take your elbows in close to your body. Lift your right leg. Feel as if someone is grabbing your right foot and just gently pulling the leg away from the hip. You're going to feel that in the glutes. Lift a little higher. Now they're pulling some more. Drop that leg down. Lift the left leg. Okay, someone's got the foot. They're tugging it slightly, drawing it away from the hip. Lift it a little more. Take it from the hip some more. Bring it down. All right. Lift your pubic bone. Roll it up towards your belly button. Bring it down again. All right. Now, cobra. Gently lifting your front body from the mat. Recruiting those back muscles, pressing into the hands as little as possible. Some of you move from a cobra to a back bend like I do. So we're going to go higher if you do that. But you go where you're comfortable. And then everyone come down, draw those elbows in toward you, shoulders away from the ears. Feel your front body make contact with the mat. Feel that. Feel the place where the body touches, inch by inch by inch. Forehead kisses the mat. Come up again. Again, recruit those back muscles to do the work. And then if you're a twisty tonight, you could look over one shoulder to get a little lateral twist in your cobra or your back bend. And then the other, and then slowly bring it down. Feel it touch the mat, 1 inch at a time. And then forehead touches the mat. Turn your head to one side. Release your arms to the sides of your body and flip your palms up. And then, without creating any tension whatsoever, turn your head to the other side. And then press your palms into the mat, chest level. Press up into table pose. Curl your tail. Slowly press your hips back. Now, really slowly, I want you to feel how child's pose opens the spine. So feel the journey. Feel what's happening as you're getting there along the way. Keep that curl in the tail. And then you just fold right into it. Drop right into it. Child's pose. And a few more breaths in child's pose. And then if you are staying for Shavasana, turn over so that you're in Shavasana pose. All right. Just be aware of the sensations of your breathing, your breath. And with every inhale, feel your front body, not only your belly and chest, but your entire front body just slightly lift upward toward the ceiling. And with your exhale, notice the body dropping down more toward the ground, toward the earth. So just sense that lifting and lowering of your body as you breathe. Feel that. Don't force anything, just notice it. Just receive the sensations from that. So become very passive and simply observe and experience what comes to you. And now, when you inhale and your body lifts, just feel your body lifting, opening, and receiving the breath, the prana, the life force. And then it moves through your body, and then release it through your back body. Release the breath through your back body. So again, this receiving and letting go, this lifting and dropping. Now, of course, within your awareness, there will be thoughts, there will be feelings that pass through with these sensations. No problem. No problem at all. Notice the thoughts, notice the feelings, and just watch them. Be the observer. Notice how they dissolve. They rise up and then they pass. And if you get too distracted and lost in thought, just go back to your breath. Use that as your anchor. Notice the heaviness of your body and allow it to get even heavier. And now, if you want to, you can just kind of switch it up and turn this heaviness into a lightness. Just feel your body get lighter, more open. The breath just flowing through your entire body. And now notice your inner peace. Okay, like river or rivers flowing. Okay, always there, but often we're not aware of it. Too busy, too distracted. But right here, you get to really feel and experience your inner peace. And notice how you can even have that inner peace when a thought pops up. Okay? It's there, it's in the background. The thought is, right at the surface. It's like the wave that comes up and disappears again. That inner peace is the depth of the ocean. And now take your awareness to your heart center. If you want to, you can even place your hands on your heart, one hand over the other. Don't need to. And as you breathe, just take the breath into the heart center and out of the heart center. So you're breathing right through your heart center. And just feel the spaciousness there, the warmth, the gentleness. And now experience your entire body, all the sensations, whatever comes to you. And notice how the sensations go beyond the shape of your body, beyond the skin. And in tonight's Shavasana, if you'd like to put a prayer, an intention, or a sankalpa in, you can do that now. Take that to your heart, take that seed to your heart. Give it some breath, some life. Next exhale, release it. And just rest with your mind wide open, wide open. Just let it, whatever comes, let it come. Whatever leaves, let it leave. All right, slowly making your transition. Gently rolling to your right side. And making your way to seated pose. And once you get to seated pose, just close your eyes, drop inside again. Notice the spaciousness in your body and the spaciousness in your heart and your mind. Bring your arms straight out, palms up. Inhale. Namaste Mudra overhead. Exhale. Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy this weather. It's beautiful, and I hope your hips feel good. We did a lot of hip work tonight. Got those hips really moving. Good night.